Hello everyone, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, for those of you first time watching my site, my YouTube channel, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is just outside Philadelphia. We're a local gaming group, always looking for like-minded individuals. We're easygoing, fun to play, always looking for excuses to play with our little toy soldiers, as I'm always told. And if you're of that mindset, do me a favor and reach out to me. I'm not saying we're not competitive, because we are, but at the same time, it's more important that you have fun. All right. End of the day, I'm there to play a game. So please know that we're so easy. So definitely reach out to me if you're out in that area. So North Wilmington, Newark, Delaware, where Southern Jersey, Philadelphia, through Allentown. We have someone comes all the way out from Bloomsburg. But again, like Lancaster, Harrisburg, Northeast Maryland, that's where we are, and we want you. We want to turn around and get a game in with you and have you join us. And we definitely want to expand. We play every game under the sun. My focus is kind of the Ninth Age, obviously. So the other thing I would like to talk to you before I start with my battle report, which is going to be a 5,000 point game that I got with Dan the other day, is I was actually asked by Lord Tremendous to, if I so chose, to talk about the TMS, which is a company. You can actually look them up on the Ninth Age website, and I guess they have a Kickstarter going for the Kingdom of Aquitaine army release. I am a Bretonnian player. It was funny because there I am. I'm actually getting my army ready to go down to Carolina here shortly, and I'm playing my dwarves. But Bretonnia, Aquitaine, that is my first love. That is I have not gotten rid of any of those models ever. Even my dog, when I was about 19 years old, chewed up one of my models, and I still have it. And I call him Stumpy. He's got character now, and it really bothered me when Games Workshop turned around and dropped the line, because I was thinking Arthur and everything else. So to see a company like this turn around and coming out with some beautiful models, like if you turn around, you need that king on a hippogriff or duke on a hippogriff. Oh my God, that model is fantastic looking. That they turn around they created. I went through and I flipped through some of what they proposed to turn around and release. If I didn't have so many models, if I didn't need more models like I need another hole in my head, I would be buying these models. That's how much, when I look at them, like I've looked at some Perrys and stuff like that, and those are also some nice, simplistic models. I like the detail, I like the character that these models have. So again, look them up. It's T as in Tom, M as in Mary, S as in Sam. The man who is actually in charge of the company, it's on the Ninth Age website, it's Canadian. That's K as in Kite, A, N as in Nancy, A-D-I-A-N. Again, look at them. If you like them, great. If not, doesn't bother me whatsoever. But I'm happy to see that someone's trying to re-release an army that was essentially killed by Games Workshop. And it's an army that means so much to me personally. And again, I still probably will end up buying their Hippogriff, because it's a beautiful, beautiful model. At the same time, those of you who've seen some of my early videos know I have Lord Rockwolf. Not to mention, I actually have the original king on a Hippogriff. Then I've got some Griffins. I got so many other self-made models of the Hippogriff that I don't need another model. Like I said, I need another model like I need a hole in my head. And my wife will probably kill me. But on to the battle report. So again, I'm playing Dan, who he's a good player, he's a sensible player. He's trying to get me ready for this tournament, so he tried to create something different. So I have no idea what he's bringing. He could be bringing his vampire accounts, he could be bringing his Empire of Sonstal, his Vermin swarms. I think he's got another army I've just never seen yet. But still, I have no idea what he's bringing at this point, and he knows my list like the back of his hand. So he tried to create something that he thought would give me issues. So here I bring you Vermin swarms versus Dwarven holds. I love this. I think I forgot a special rule. I think I get an extra hatred against them, an extra grudge, and I completely forgot my own army rule. Oh well, c'est la vie. It's 5,000 points, and here's his list. Or here's how it is we actually ended up playing on diagonal deployment, and he's got a warp lightning cannon, the Doom Wheel, I think it's now called the Doom Wheel. He's got a huge block of clan rats with nothing in it. He's got a abomination there behind that. The two pillars. He's got two cannons, two warp lightning cannons, and then he's got another unit of clan rats with a meat grinder and a lord on one of his vermin lords on a war platform. Then he has an assassin right between the two of them. Then he's got what was that in the middle there? He had another unit, same kit out, so hand weapon shield of the clan rats, and then another abomination. And again, he had the character. He also had a BSB in that other unit. He has the character on the litter, which is a war platform, an assassin, and then another meat grinder. So I'm sitting there looking at this list. I'm like, I think I got this. I think I can take this. And we turn around, we set up. We're about 6 drops away. I'm like, I need to do something quick, because if not, he may actually end up getting first turn. And the last thing I want is for him to try to press me. Because if he presses me, he's going to have the Doom Wheel come over. Probably not going to get shot at then, because probably his clan rats would be a little bit closer unless he goes the other way. Because apparently it can shoot you even without having line of sight, being in the front arc. I don't get that model, but those are the rules. The abomination, that could cause me issues. So if he pushes up with both abominations, that could be an issue. And that's it. As for his 3 big blocks, his machines. Oh, by the way, you see that hand all the way up there? It's really, you can't see them in the picture, but there are 5 scouts that have in this game crossbows and shields, and those are the rangers for the Dwarven holds. And my list is the same. Look at previous battle reports to try to see what I have there. But again, Vengeance Seeker, Clan Warriors, Great Weapons, that Vanguard, Hull Guardians, Marksman with Guild Crafted, Deep Watch with a King and a Runesmith, unit of Spears, another unit of Clan Warriors, nothing in them, and the Organ Gun and a Cannon. So, and an Engineer floating there in the middle to say, hey, here, go ahead, have an extra +1 to hit, or Bliss Skill 4. So, on to the main event. So I ended up dropping everything, and I ended up getting first turn. So here's my Vanguard, which I did before I re-rolled, or I knew I had first turn. And overall, my game thought was, I don't know how quite to deal with that thing on the right, but I'm not so worried about it. Let's see. The Warriors, I'm not worried about. The Abomination, I'm not worried about. And yeah, I'm just, really it's the character of the Assassins and the Meat Grinder. Meat Grinder is a big issue for me because those are special attacks. So I turn around and I end up chaffing him up. I do press up with everything, and I figure he's going to end up going to charge into me. He'll get through me, and then he'll... let's see. Actually, this is top of his turn. So, hey, look, Skaven, turn 1. Or Vermin Swarms, turn 1. So he turns around, he double charges that unit, and I'm not worried about it. I'm really not, because they're going to die. That's all I can say is they are meant to die. I've got my whole Guardian sitting behind them, and I try to throw Chucky up there to get that thing into him, because if it doesn't shoot him to death, it would be striking at the same initiative as his impact hits, which is kind of what I want. Because otherwise, I think that thing does like a grind attack too. It's something ridiculous. But because Junior over there only has a 6+ ward save, he's meant to die. He's a throwaway. So here we go. This is his movement. He really doesn't. He doesn't touch anything. He's got two two of those rattling guns in his army list too, by the way. And one thing of note, if you look on the right-hand side of this, well, those little red dots, the little red gems represent what I hate in this army. I turn around, I blow up that abomination with my organ gun. Just turn one, it just let loose and went kaput. So here we are, back to here. He moved that over, and his other rattling gun, which was to the left, was kind of right in front of that big stone statue there back there. My marksman turned around and took care of quickly. So here he shoots him, because even though it moves, it always shoots. That cannon misfired, the other cannon missed, and there's that combat, and they get eaten to a bloody pulp, doing maybe a couple wounds to the warriors, not much. So here's my start of my turn 2. I turn around, I saw that big juicy flank, and Dan turned to me, he's like, after I declare that charge in with the Hull Guardians and do the charge, he goes, I think that's a mistake. Why didn't you just shoot it? You're designed to shoot the crap out of it. I'm like, I need to see how these bears do. I need to see how my Hull Guardians do, because that's a monster. They're designed to kill monsters, monstrous infantry and monsters. They're my hand-to-hand counter to that. And he goes, all right, but I still say it's a mistake. I'm like, well, we'll see. Over here during my shooting phase, not a whole heck of a lot. The marksman can't shoot anything currently. And I do turn around, I take the organ gun lets loose into the thing on the right, the doom wheel, and I only do 2 wounds. I just got unlucky. Over here, he does 4 wounds to me. I do 1 wound back to that thing after his saves, and then it only did a total of 1 wound. The other wound, that says 2 there. The other wound was done by the warriors the last round of combat. And that's with me re-rolling my misses. Alright, that was bad luck. So now it's going to be Skaven turn 2. Charges into the flank of the Hull Guardians. And that's it. Otherwise, I'm still trying to chaff him up the middle there. His rattling gun turns around and takes pop shots at Junior, I want to say, and just doesn't do anything to Junior. And during close combat, lo and behold, he turns around, he does another 3-4 wounds to the Hull Guardians. The one Hull Guardian is running now. Everything made his panic chest. But to me, that was very disappointing. All I can say is it was disappointing. Now, he positioned did a combat reform with his clan rats. And he puts them so the majority's in the water. He wants to get me in the water. After he did that, and we continued, I looked at him like, that was a mistake right there to do that. And he goes, well, why? He's like, you count as having 0 full ranks. The majority of your unit is going to be in there. By the time I'm done killing enough of you, you're going to have 0 in there. If your goal is to turn around and get me in the water, job well done, I'm going to charge out of it. So, well, it's Dwarf turn 2, but in reality it's turn 3. So, over here, my shooting from the organ gun finally turns around, kills that silly doom wheel. He held off shooting it last turn, because otherwise it was going to hit his own units. And that's it. So I charge into the clan rats, but the really big charge, and unfortunately, let's go back. So at this screen, and I'm sorry for not having a picture of the board, because we're playing and trying to play quickly because we started late. The Rangers, and all the way in the back, took out a war machine. So the first turn, they marched 9. So they're about 9 inches from that war machine, so it's a 6-inch charge. They get in the following turn. They kill that war machine. They overrun into the other war machine, which granted can't shoot. But I'm okay with that. Kills that war machine during his turn, and then overruns into the big block of clan rats. So here are my 4 Rangers into the rear of that unit that I hate. Now, granted, I have no ranks. He has 3 ranks and a banner and a BSB. So he's sitting at a static 5, but I've already negated 3 of those from the charge in the rear. Well, all I have to do is do a couple more wounds and I'll be good. So, let's see. And he did an overrun. He ended up going in the marksman, by the way. And I chaffed up his... After I knew he was going to kill this marksman with the abomination. So after that, I sacrificed the engineer, which to me, the whole purpose of the engineer is, besides giving the ballistic skill 4 to one of the machines and causing the entrenchment, is he protects his creations. Fluff-wise, that's it. He's going to say, he's there with his shield. I don't have any other weapons on him. He's there as their protector. So he took one for the team, and then no matter what he does, he's going to end up hitting the whole Guardian, and that's it. So now it's Skaven turn 3. He easily did munchies and crunchies to my engineer. He ends up hitting the whole Guardian. I blew away in that combat those clan rats, and they reformed. But meanwhile, I've got everything facing him. And again, this is his turn. I've got an evil junior there chaffing the one unit that he does charge. And I did charge with the other block, the 15-man unit of nothing, into his... I have no idea. The rattling gun. The rats that just go... like you roll up to 3d6 shots for them. And the reason why I did that, and he fled, is I wanted those dwarves in that unit's flank. So all of a sudden, it's like, okay, it's either he's going to get a flank charge from the warriors, or he's going to get a flank charge from the Deep Watch and the spears. So, and the spears, the way that they're facing is they can see the abomination, they can see the and see in front, because I was worried that he was going to kill the engineer and then do a combat reform and then charge into the spearmen. And I want him to be forced to go against the front, because there is my character that should be able to take care of that abomination and hopefully live through the abomination. So here's that charge. I only put 1 wound on him, but he on his assassin, but his assassin makes mincemeat out of Junior. So now it's Dwarves turn 4. I press it. So again, my Rangers are in the back of that unit, of the unit on the left. So they've killed 2 war machines. They're holding up that unit, and they're winning that combat. And he knew not to turn around, because had he done that, then he would have been giving the rear to a block with ranks that he couldn't get his characters to, that I had hatred against, strength 4 or strength 5. Yeah, no, that was the right play, but because of what I was able to do, it just completely chaffed him up. And then I turn around and I further chaffed him up with that unit of 15 warriors, because he can't move that combat. It's a flank. He can't fit in that flank. No matter what, he can't fit the flank. So, let's see. What was there? Oh, he kills the whole Guardian, does a reform there. Oh no, we just turn around. So he turns around. He easily makes mincemeat of the whole Guardian. And over here with some buffs, even with the meat grinder killing 6 of my guys. That's the only thing that hurt me, was the meat grinder. Okay, the meat grinder did 6 wounds. Otherwise, I have -1 to hit on that unit and reroll misses. And let's see. So I'm winning combat, but he's steadfast, so he doesn't care. Skaven turn 4. He does what he has to do. He charges the 15-man unit. And, hey, look, yeah, meant to die. That's all I can say, is they are meant to die. And I had him positioned in such a way that with an overrun, he's going towards the buildings, not towards my unit. He presses up with his unit of clan rats that originally lost combat in the water to try to go after the war machines. And he does charge the rear of the spears with his abomination. So over here, the meat grinder kills 6, 7. He does a total of 7 wounds to that unit. Over here, so I lost combat and they broke, and he just does a reform. Over here, the abomination does 5, 6. Does a lot. He does a lot of wounds. But I turn around and I ended up dropping my hold stone. So all of a sudden it's like, hey, yeah, I now have 3 ranks going against you. It only had 1 wound left after everything it's lived through, all the dwarves it's eaten so far. And the 1 wound gets through, I'm able to kill it. So here we are, and this is like turn 5, bomb 5 actually, at this point. And he marches up to my war machines because he wants to make sure he gets in and doesn't fail his charge. And he charges the flank of my deep watch. Now the thing is I'll show you in this next picture. It's a little bit more clear, or a little bit clearer. Is my king is on that side. I purposely have him on that side, and my runesmith is on the other side. Why? He had that big nasty character over there. He had the assassin in the middle, and then he had the meat grinder. Well, meat grinder is using special attacks, can't single out the character. I want to keep my runesmith alive. And because he has the assassin and the big character hitting the flanks, characters do not have swirling melee. The unit does, characters do not. So the meat grinder is going to be able to go against the unit, I believe, and that's how we played it. And that's it. Meanwhile, in that other combat, as you can see, I've literally whittled down that unit. I still have 2 or 3 rangers there in the back of that unit. And yeah, the Deep Watch are doing exactly what they're designed and meant to do. So over here, well, so he turns around, he gets one, I issue a challenge, he declines the challenge. He gets 1 attack with his assassin that gets through my armor, through my ward save, and then does 3 wounds to my general. My general, in return, killed the assassin. Or no, I did not kill the assassin during that turn, and he failed to hit me because I had the -1 to hit. So here we are. It's turn 6. My 2 blocks of dwarves go into the flank. And my organ gun turns around and clears off another rank and file of those clan rats. They end up fleeing, so I get points for them at the end of the game. And let's see. So yeah, that's how much he has left. Even with his BSB trying its best to turn around and lay waste to those 3 rangers in the rear, just couldn't do it. There's the organ gun just kind of letting loose. And I lost a total of 4. I lost 1 ranger, 1 warrior, and 2 deep watch. And he suffered so many wounds. We weren't even removing models at that point. They broke, they fled. Ends up being, as a result, total Dwarven Holds Massacre. It was a total victory. So 20-0. But there were definitely MVPs. I've had a lot of 20-0s where it's like, what do I have to talk about with my enemy's army because I just beat the hunk out of them. And here's the thing is that abomination, it was making a beeline for my machines. And I truly think that there was its mistake is rather than charging into my warriors, and I know why he did it, he wanted those points. But rather than charging into there, he should have hit the organ gun. Should have taken out the cannon and just gotten those easy points back there. Because at end result, he didn't get any of the points from anything there. So, and for the Dwarven Holds, those Rangers, they tied up that big unit with his general, with the assassin, with a meat grinder, allowed my deep watch to get in their front, kept helping me win that combat. He just was steadfast in making his saves. But they did it. They killed 2 war machines, they easily earn their points because that unit, the way they're kitted out in this, is 160 points. Each of those war machines is worth more. Being able to just tie that unit up. So great job, Rangers. I really like this rendition of Rangers. To me, they're finally usable and worth their points. The Abomination, I know a lot of Skaven players are disenchanted with them, or Vermin Swarm players are disenchanted with them. I don't understand why. To me, having a regen, having a toughness 5 or 6, I think they're they're T6, strength 6, or something like that. It's really, really good. All right, not a lot of things are going to be hitting you with flaming attacks anymore, especially since with the new magic, a lot of people aren't taking magic the way they used to. I don't know why, because I think magic, yeah, the miscast can be unforgiving, but it still can make or break a game. And I think we saw that here because there was no magic in my opponent's list. I think it's a completely different game if he has magic. If he had spent points that way, would have been a tough call. That's all I can say. It definitely would have been a tough call. Well, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.